what is better than sliced bread? Malva pudding. Today, my girls, welcome to the Lean Girl YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be making our literally favorite warm pudding dessert, a traditional Malva pudding. But of course, I have transformed the high-calorie, decadent version into a low-calorie, high-protein, Lean Girl approved version that you can enjoy guilt-free. If I tell you I'm excited about this recipe, I am not telling you a word of a lie. Guys, I have been working on this recipe. Here is my special little recipe book where all the magic happens. This is where I take original recipes, try and swap out ingredients, do all my trials and tests, and then bring you girls my low-calorie, high-protein versions that are fit for fat loss. So today we are making a Malva pudding. Let me know in the comments right now if you love Malva pudding as much as I do. And we are even going to be pouring a bit of low-calorie custard over this Malva pudding baby. Now, before we get into the recipe, I have to ask you, if you have not done it yet, hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you subscribe to the Lean Girl channel so that you do not miss out on any of my recipes. And also hit that notification buzzer so that we make sure you do not miss them either. And you get notified every time I add a new one, which a couple of new ones will be up every single week just for you. Okay, so let's get straight into our recipe. We are going to start off with some of our wet ingredients first, and then we'll be adding the dry ones. So I'm going to start off by just cracking 2 little eggs into our mixing bowl. So just give these a little crack. We're using 2 whole eggs. And I'm actually also going to be using some protein powder in this recipe, which means that it's going to be high protein, which means it's going to keep you fuller for so much longer. We love that. We hungry girls love that. Okay, now I'm using, instead of sugar, which I've replaced in the recipe, instead of sugar or honey, that's in the traditional recipe, I'm going to be using canderel. This is basically just canderel powder. I like to use this in baking, otherwise you're like emptying so many sachets. But if you just have the sachets, I think it works out to around 8 sachets. We do want this to be super sweet because it is a Malva pudding. So I'm going to be doing 8 tablespoons of sweetener. 3, 4, I feel like I'm doing reps. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now what you want to do is you want to mix up your sweetener and your eggs until they're kind of nice and creamy. So give this a good mix. And then what we are going to be doing next is I'm actually going to be using a butter that is the lightest, most low-calorie butter I have found on the market. You can find it at Pick n Pay. I'm sure Willie's also has it, Pick n Pay, Checkers. And I really love it for baking because it does the trick. And again, it's nice and low calorie. So just give this a good mix. You don't want any lumps and bumps. Okay, then I'm going to take my butter. So I've already got 20 grams of the extra light butter. This is the Flora Extra Light. This is the one that I use quite often in my recipes, so get your hands on some of this. I'm going to pop this into the microwave. I want it to melt for just a second, and then we are going to put it in with the eggs. Actually melts really, really quickly. Okay, so we just want to add in our melted butter, and this is going to give our Malva that delicious pudding rich flavor. So stir in your butter. And now the next ingredient is a traditional Malva ingredient which you just cannot do without, and that is apricot jam. I actually stole some of this from my sister, which is why it's in a little Tupperware, because I didn't have any at home. But this is just regular plain apricot jam, and this is going to be 1 tablespoon. And the calories are not bad, and also because we're using just 1 tablespoon in the entire recipe, it's not going to be too bad. And then you want to give this a good stir. You may have little pieces of jam, which is okay. Once we blend it all together, they'll kind of start to disintegrate. And then our last and final ingredient. No, we still have 2 more wet ingredients actually. So just try and break these up as much as possible. It is quite of a tricky one, but don't worry too much. Okay, now another ingredient, which is a traditional Malva, is vinegar. So we are adding 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And this kind of has like a unique thing where it like balances the sweetness, and that bit of a kick actually brings all of the flavors together. So just 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, pop in there. And then our last and final ingredient is going to be some almond milk. I like to use the Almond Breeze unsweetened almond milk. And so we just need, here's my trusty recipe book, about 1/3 of a cup. So I'm going to use my little measuring cup over here and put in about 1/3 of a cup, which is about 80 mils. And there you have it. And now we're going to give this a good mix. And then we are going to go ahead and add the rest of our dry ingredients. Guys, I'm so excited about this Malva, I can't even tell you. Like, it is the most perfect thing as either an evening snack or evening dessert or an afternoon snack, because we are putting the protein in there. It means that you can have it pretty much any time, and it's like a mini meal. Mini meal Malva. Okay, dry ingredients. I have got here some oat flour, which I've already weighed out. This is 120 grams of oat flour. This is what it looks like. It is a gluten-free one that I'm using, but don't worry, it's not because I'm gluten intolerant or anything like that. It's just the one that I could get my hands on. If you don't have oat flour, you can actually make it yourself. Take some oats, grind it up, kapow! You have got some oat flour. Okay, so we're gonna throw in our oat flour. And then, as I said, I do want to make this a high protein version. So I'm going to be adding a scoop of protein powder. The one that I'm using today is the Metalab Bridge. I'm using caramel flavor because I think it actually works really well with a Malva. But you can go with any vanilla protein powder or anything along those flavor lines. I really love this protein powder. It is like one of the best tasting ones that I have laid my lips on. So we are going to be adding 1 scoop. And by the way, I do actually have a discount code for you guys, LEAN GIRL 15, if you want to get your hands on some of this protein powder as well. Highly recommended. I know that there's a lot of protein powders out there, so it's quite difficult to choose. Okay, and then I'll put the link as well to the Metalabs in the description box so you guys can get your hands on it. And then I just want to do 1 little sprinkle of salt, which always brings everything together in baking. And then last but not least, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Just a little bit less. Okay, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then we are going to give this all a good mix. Making Malva. Guys, I am going to show you how you can eat Malva and get lean. That is my goal in life. How you can eat all the desserts. I have a serious sweet tooth. Okay, so this is all mixed up and ready to go. Just make sure I have all my ingredients ready and done. Okay, so now we are going to be actually baking this. So I'm using a medium-sized baking tin. Is this a tin? It's not a tin. It's a glass. It's a porridge dish. It's a baking glassware. Okay, so I'm going to be making this into 4 portions, by the way. You can make it into less, and obviously the calories will be less, but when I'm cutting it, I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. Okay, so spray and cook. We don't want these babies to stick. So this is the olive oil one. Doesn't really make any difference. Cook and spray and bake. Any of those will do. Give it a good spray. Make it like a bit of a disco. And then we are going to pour in our lovely Malva mixture. I actually like purposefully always leave a little bit in the bowl so that I can eat it afterwards. That's how good this tastes. When the dough tastes good, you just, you know. Okay, now you just want to spread it out into the bottom of your dish. And then we're going to pop this little marvelous Malva into the oven, and I want it in there for about 15 to 20 minutes. I do want you to keep your eye on it because we obviously don't want to dry it out. And while it's in there, we are going to be making a wonderful little sauce, which is what makes Malva a Malva, because it is drenched in delicious syrupy goodness. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this into the oven. When I get back, I'll let you know exactly how many minutes it was in there, so that it is the perfect bakedness. And then we'll start making our wonderful little sauce that is going to be poured over. Yay. Okay, onto our little Malva sauce, which is gonna make it like absolutely the most moist. Everyone loves the word moist. Okay, gonna be the most moist cake you've ever eaten. So we're gonna start off with our little sauce. I've just got a saucepan here, and I'm starting off with 80 mils of water and 20 mils of almond milk. Again, I'm using this unsweetened almond breeze, which is my go-to. It's the lowest calorie almond milk, around 20 mils. I don't really want to measure, don't really need to measure, but because this is not too precise. Okay, and then again, let me just grab my butter over here to show you guys. I am using my Flora extra light butter. Calories are fantastic, and it does all the job for baking. So I've got 20 grams of the Flora Light again, which I am going to pop in here. Whoa, violent. And we want that to start melting. Okay, and I'm gonna use my Calorie powder again. So if you wanted to do the equivalent of sachets, 5 sachets, and so I'm gonna do 5 spoons of Calorie. So this is gonna give our sauce the wonderful sweetness that we are after. And guys, Calorie is so fantastic. It's literally no calories. I love it out of all of the sweeteners because it doesn't have any weird aftertaste. And again, the calories are pretty phenomenal. Okay, so you just want to give this a little mix. You want everything to start melting. And then last but not least, we are going to add some vanilla. Now, you can do vanilla essence. If you're doing vanilla essence, you could do 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. Otherwise, I've got this vanilla paste, which is from Woolies. Sometimes not too easy to find, but I'm going to do a few squirts. It's not working. Yeah. Whoa. A few squirts of vanilla paste, and Bob is your uncle. This is basically going to be our sauce, and so you basically just want the butter to melt, you want everything to combine nicely, and then you can just turn this off the heat and don't make a mess. And when our Malva pudding is done and out of the oven, we are going to pour this glorious creaminess. Okay, so our Malva is out of the oven, and so now we get to pour over our glorious, creamy, yummy sauce. And so what I actually want to do is, I want to just make a few stabs. We love you, Malva. We're not trying to be violent, but we just want the sauce to really soak up. So as I pour it over, I want it to go into all of the grooves. And so you can now just pour over your sauce, and obviously it's going to go all around and under, and it's hopefully going to soak it up like a sponge. And now the waiting game. So you actually are going to have to leave this. Not going to be an easy job. So you are now going to want to leave your Malva for a good 40 minutes so that it soaks up all of this wonderful sauce, and we are then going to serve it with some beautiful light LEAN GIRL custard, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Patience, girls, patience. I just eat this with a spoon now. Okay, my lovelies, so our Malva pudding has had time to relax and soak up all of that saucy goodness. And I'm now going to cut it up and show you guys how wunderbar this is. So I'm going to cut this into 6 pieces. I'll put the calories up on screen. I actually was going to originally do 4, but this is a pretty big Malva pudding, so I think that we'll cut it into 6, and that means the calories are even less per piece. Okay, so let me try and, oh my soul, I'm so excited for you guys to try this. You are going to be in love. Like, honestly, if we can get lean eating food like this, we really don't need any willpower at all. So this is going to be your new favorite dessert of all time. If you haven't checked it out yet, I've also made a milk tart. I'm all about recreating our favorite South African girl treats and making them low calorie, high protein, which means that we can have dessert every night of the week and still reach our goals. Whoa, I'm so excited. Have a good night. He's like, my fiance is waiting in the wings to like just chow down on our Malva.
Yeah.
Okie dokes. So I'm gonna take a piece out. Should I do the corner piece, hey?
Mm-hmm.
And it has soaked up all of the sauce. Oh my word. I'm so excited. And so good. And so of course it is not going to be a perfect Malva without some custard. So I'm using here this Parmalat Light Vanilla Custard. If you had to make your own, you probably couldn't make it even lower calories. So just buy the bought stuff. It's just as delicious. I think that Ultramel also has an Ultramel Zero. You just want to give it a good little shake. And then we can just pour over our wonderful custard. Let's just go to town, let's go to town. Okay, I'm gonna do a taste test because I know you guys are dying to hear how glorious this is. I promise you, this will beat any regular Malva you have ever had. I am so excited. Let me know in the comments if you are excited to try this one. Let me know once you do, let me know what you think. And yeah guys, that's it. There is your traditional Malva pudding recreated to be low calorie, high protein. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification buzzer. I do not want you to forget or miss out on any of my Lean Girl South African recipes that have been recreated just for you. So hit that subscribe button, and otherwise look out for more recipes from me, Ange. And of course, if you don't have it yet, check out the link in the description of my Lean Girl Kitchen Coach, which is my recipe hub with all of my high protein recipes that are low calorie too, which means it will completely take the guesswork out of what you should be eating if you want to get lean. Enjoy, girls! It's so good. I'm gonna try it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that's amazing.
I'm like, screw lunch. Let's have Malva. Can't stop eating this. So, if you picking up mini meal, that is like a tongue twister. Regular. Ooh, this camera turned off. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Oh my word. Folks, it's a winner, folks. It's a winner. Babe, do you want to taste this? Do you want to taste this?
Not on camera.
Okay? No, not on camera. Galan's not looking too.
When you stop cooking, do you want me to stop this camera?
No. I mean, it's raw egg. You might get salmonella, but...